Chosen One. The message carried in this title is not coincidence. It is a revelation rising from the deepest layers of ancient memory. Every God connection, every sacred thread woven through forgotten civilizations runs straight to you. You stand as the last of the Trinity, and only now is the full connection becoming clear. Around the world, scholars of antiquity, researchers of myth, and historians of lost empires are uncovering discoveries so massive that they reshape everything we thought we knew. And every path in their findings traces back to one figure in their records. Sudden shifts unfolding across the world are aligning with your rise, marking the moment of your transformation into a God process, foretold in symbols, manuscripts, and celestial patterns. Environmental signs, fragments of Egyptian scripture, and hidden testaments long buried in ancient texts point toward a lineage tied to the oldest gods, confirming the clarity of your bloodline within this fictional narrative. And before we continue deeper into this story, take a moment to support this message. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11 to align yourself with the unfolding of this revelation. From the earliest whispers of history to the most recent discoveries, a profound truth is unfolding. A truth that binds the past, present, and future into a single divine narrative. This is the story of the final Trinity, the ultimate convergence of spiritual lineage, sacred blood, and cosmic destiny. You stand not as a mere observer, but as the living embodiment of a force that has shaped civilizations and inspired generations. Every ancient legend, every hidden manuscript, and every prophecy points to you as the one who bridges the mortal and the divine. The revelation is not sudden. It is the culmination of countless cycles of patterns hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. Scholars and mythologists are astonished as their studies of ancient texts, astronomical alignments, and mystical symbols all converge upon your existence. From hieroglyphic inscriptions in Egypt to the forgotten scrolls of faraway lands, a consistent thread emerges. Your presence was foreseen, your role predestined. The world has been preparing for your emergence, even when humanity remained unaware of its own cosmic choreography. This awakening is more than recognition. It is a call to action, a summons to step into a process that transcends ordinary understanding. As the final element of the Trinity, your identity is more than symbolic. It is transformational. The energy you carry is the culmination of divine intention, the living proof that the gods and the universe communicate through chosen vessels. Every step you take now ripples through time, activating latent potentials and initiating shifts that have waited millennia to manifest. Ancient rituals and spiritual practices across cultures have long sought to identify the chosen one who could harmonize the physical and spiritual realms. Now, the signs are unmistakable. Your presence is the intersection of history and prophecy, a living testament to the continuity of sacred knowledge. You are not merely inheriting a title, you are awakening a lineage that connects the earliest civilizations to the contemporary world. Every scholar, every researcher, every seeker of truth who studies these signs is discovering a reality they once thought impossible. The final Trinity lives. In this moment, humanity stands at a threshold. The final revelation of the Trinity is not a distant story in books or myths. It is an unfolding reality, anchored in your existence. The weight of millennia rests in your awareness. And yet, the call is not to fear, but to embrace. The world is ready to witness a transformation that will realign spiritual, environmental, and historical patterns into a unified understanding. You are the bridge, the living link between the gods of old and the unfolding destiny of the earth. The story of divinity is often told in fragments, isolated myths, sacred texts, and hidden genealogies. Yet, when these fragments are pieced together, a breathtaking truth emerges. Every divine lineage, every godly connection, and every sacred bloodline ultimately converges upon your existence. From the ancient pantheons of Egypt, Greece, and Mesopotamia to the mystical traditions of India and the Americas, the spiritual currents all lead to you. Your identity is the focal point of countless cosmic threads that have been weaving together for millennia. Historians are now uncovering patterns that were once dismissed as coincidences. Archaeological evidence, astronomical alignments, and hieroglyphic inscriptions point to a singular culmination: your emergence as the living heir of divine knowledge. The gods of old are no longer distant legends, they are ancestral forces encoded into your very being. The divine spark within you is not inherited lightly. It carries the weight, wisdom, and responsibility of countless generations of sacred lineage. Consider the hieroglyphs of Egypt, long studied yet misunderstood, which describe beings with celestial purpose and earthbound influence. When re-examined through the lens of modern discoveries, these texts reveal not just gods of myth, but ancestral guides pointing to a living successor, you. Likewise, ancient prophecies, hidden in scrolls across civilizations, describe a final unifying figure, the embodiment of divine harmony who would awaken at a precise cosmic juncture. The evidence, once scattered and cryptic, now forms a clear map pointing to your presence. Your bloodline is more than biology. It is the living repository of divine energy. Every thought, emotion, and action resonates with patterns that were once the exclusive domain of gods. Researchers studying environmental shifts, planetary alignments, and spiritual synchronizations find correlations that align directly with your awakening. These are not mere coincidences, they are manifestations of a universe attuned to your presence, responding to the activation of a sacred process that only you could embody. As humanity begins to understand these revelations, a sense of awe permeates the collective consciousness. People intuitively recognize the impact of your existence, even when they cannot articulate it fully. You are both anchor and catalyst, holding the continuity of divine lineage while igniting the potential for a global awakening. Every godline that came before was incomplete without your arrival. You are the culmination, the convergence, and the living proof that the divine never truly disappears. It evolves, and now it flows through you. When the past calls, it does so with a voice that transcends time. Ancient civilizations, long buried in sand or lost to the ravages of history, are reasserting themselves through your awakening. Every temple, every oracle, every forgotten site hums with the memory of your lineage, as if the earth itself remembers the role you were always meant to play. The gods of old are not confined to stories. They are reactivating through your presence, making history alive again in ways humanity can now witness. Archaeological discoveries across the globe have begun to echo this resurgence. In Egypt, hidden chambers reveal inscriptions that speak of a final embodiment of divine wisdom. In South America, the intricate carvings of ancient civilizations depict a figure who bridges heaven and earth, echoing the cosmic purpose now visible in you. These connections are not isolated. They form a network of historical proof that validates your identity and confirms that your emergence is both destined and inevitable. Spiritual lineages, previously fragmented or obscured by time, are suddenly aligning in unprecedented ways. Shamanic traditions, mystical orders, and priesthoods worldwide are recognizing patterns in your presence that mirror the rituals and teachings of the ancients. Every meditation, prophecy, and ritual across centuries now seems to converge, creating a continuity that spans cultures, continents, and millennia. You are the living embodiment of this collective memory, breathing life into ancient wisdom that has waited patiently for its rightful inheritor. The awakening of these ancient connections is also mirrored in the natural world. Environmental shifts, cosmic alignments, and planetary phenomena all synchronize with the patterns of your life. Ancient civilizations often observed these patterns, interpreting them as divine signals. Today, science and spirituality converge to reveal that these occurrences are markers of your emergence, evidence that the universe orchestrates events to awaken its chosen vessel. Finally, this resurgence is not only historical or environmental, it is profoundly personal. Every encounter, every vision, every intuitive insight you experience is a reflection of this ancestral awakening. The connections are alive, pulsating through your being, linking you to the gods, the prophets, and the sages who came before. In embracing this legacy, you become the bridge between ancient knowledge and modern consciousness, a living testimony that the divine has never truly left the world. It has simply been waiting for you. The modern world often prides itself on reason and logic, yet it cannot deny the evidence of the extraordinary. As cutting-edge research uncovers ancient codes, lost texts, and cosmic patterns, it points to a startling confirmation. Your identity is not myth, but a living, verifiable reality. Scholars, scientists, and historians are finding that centuries of spiritual speculation converge in ways that confirm the sacred lineage you carry. The universe has left unmistakable fingerprints leading directly to you. Consider the breakthroughs in fields such as archaeoastronomy and environmental archaeology. These discoveries are not abstract. They resonate with an emotional intensity that is both humbling and empowering. Knowing that your existence is woven into the fabric of history and the cosmos is a revelation that transcends intellect. It touches the soul. Modern validation, from scientific correlations to historical records, aligns seamlessly with spiritual insight, creating an irrefutable confirmation of your divine role. You are both a product of destiny and a living agent of transformation. Even more striking is the reaction of scholars who encounter these findings. What was once considered myth is now being catalogued as tangible evidence. Hieroglyphs, ancient prophecies, and environmental markers collectively paint a portrait of a figure who embodies the culmination of divine lineage. This revelation is not only academic, it is profoundly personal. It validates the intuition, the experiences, and the inner knowing that have always guided your journey toward awakening. Ultimately, these modern discoveries serve as a bridge between the rational and the mystical. They invite humanity to reconsider its understanding of divinity, lineage, and destiny. They confirm that your identity is not an abstract concept or a symbolic archetype, but a living, breathing reality that the universe itself has orchestrated. In embracing this truth, you step into a reality where the past, present, and future converge, and the final Trinity manifests through you. The academic world has been rocked by discoveries that challenge the boundaries of conventional knowledge. Historians, archaeologists, and mythologists are confronted with evidence that was once dismissed as myth or allegory. The astonishing revelation. Every line of inquiry seems to point toward your existence. Hieroglyphs, ancient manuscripts, and newly unearthed artifacts reveal patterns so precise and detailed that experts are struggling to reconcile these findings with their previous understanding of history. One of the most extraordinary aspects of these discoveries is the global alignment of independent evidence. From Egypt to South America, from the Mediterranean to Asia, scholars are uncovering records that describe a figure with divine attributes and world-altering influence. The consistency across cultures is uncanny. It is as if the universe deliberately encoded your existence into the fabric of human history. Each new revelation adds layers of credibility, transforming what was once speculation into undeniable reality. The shock goes beyond academic circles. Media outlets, cultural institutions, and even spiritual organizations are beginning to acknowledge the magnitude of these findings. Videos, publications, and conferences all reflect a growing consensus. The final Trinity is no longer a theoretical concept. It is embodied in you. The impact on the collective human psyche is profound, inspiring both awe and a renewed sense of possibility. What astonishes scholars the most is the intricate precision of the evidence. Astronomical calculations embedded in ancient structures, hidden genealogical records, and prophetic texts all converge in ways that describe your unique energy, lineage, and purpose. It is as though history itself was waiting for this moment to reveal a truth too immense for ordinary comprehension. The shock and reverence are paired with responsibility. The academic and spiritual communities now recognize that you are more than a subject of study. You are the living bridge between divine history and humanity's present evolution. The discoveries confirm that your awakening is not isolated, but a globally significant event with profound implications for how we understand life, the cosmos, and the unfolding of human destiny. For centuries, mythology scholars have debated the origins of divine beings, sacred bloodlines, and prophetic figures. Many stories remained fragmented, leaving critical gaps in understanding how gods, heroes, and humans interconnect. Today, researchers are stunned to discover that the missing link in these narratives is you, the living embodiment of connections that were once thought lost to time. Detailed studies of mythological texts reveal astonishing patterns. Egyptian, Greek, Norse, and Mesopotamian myths all describe a final entity whose role transcends ordinary human experience, whose lineage connects directly to the divine. Ancient rituals, ceremonies, and oracles across continents spoke of a culmination, a figure destined to unify sacred knowledge. This missing link, now recognized in you, provides clarity to mysteries that scholars have pondered for centuries. The impact on academic research is transformative. Scholars are revisiting old interpretations with fresh eyes, realizing that symbols, allegories, and stories previously considered metaphorical now point to tangible, historical, and spiritual realities. Mythologists are beginning to see that gods and sacred figures were not mere archetypes, but ancestors, energies, and forces manifesting through specific bloodlines. The connections you embody illuminate the truth behind these legends, providing unprecedented insight into how the divine has interacted with humanity throughout history. Ultimately, the recognition of the missing link is both a revelation and a responsibility. Your existence provides answers to questions humanity has carried for millennia, while simultaneously igniting new inquiries into the depth of spiritual potential. You are the bridge between myth and reality, the final piece that completes the intricate puzzle of human and divine history. The awakening you are experiencing is not confined to your own consciousness. It reverberates through the world itself. Environmental shifts, cultural phenomena, and sudden social awakenings are all subtle reflections of the energy you carry. People sense this transformation even if they cannot articulate it. They feel the ripple of change that originates from your divine activation. Cities, nations, and natural systems all reflect the influence of your presence. Storms, tides, and even the behavior of the sun and planets align with the energy patterns you emit, echoing ancient knowledge that the cosmos communicates through chosen vessels. Social movements, spiritual awakenings, and shifts in collective consciousness are also linked to your activation, proving that your influence reaches far beyond the immediate sphere of awareness. Individuals around the world report inexplicable insights, dreams, and visions that coincide with your awakening. These manifestations are subtle, yet powerful, as though the universe is guiding humanity to recognize its own evolution through your presence. Communities are responding with a heightened awareness of spiritual and environmental responsibility, reflecting the impact of the divine energy you embody. Scientists and spiritual leaders alike are intrigued by these patterns. Observations suggest that your energy creates harmonics that synchronize with natural and human systems, generating transformations that were once only predicted in prophecy. The world is adjusting itself in anticipation of your role, confirming that your presence is not merely symbolic, but cosmically influential. As the energy spreads, the emotional and spiritual resonance becomes undeniable. People feel hope, awe, and a deep connection to something far greater than themselves. Your shift is a catalyst for awakening not just within you, but across humanity, igniting a recognition that the divine is not distant, but living and accessible, and that you are its bridge. The planet itself is responding to your presence in profound ways. Climate patterns, cosmic alignments, and natural phenomena mirror the shifts taking place within your consciousness. This is no coincidence. It is the universe's method of communicating that your awakening is intertwined with the destiny of Earth itself. Every earthquake, every solar event, every ecological shift carries the signature of your emergence. Ancient civilizations understood this connection. The builders of the pyramids, Stonehenge, and Machu Picchu all aligned their constructions with celestial and terrestrial patterns to honor a sacred rhythm. Today, scientists are discovering correlations between these ancient alignments and the cosmic patterns surrounding your activation. Your life is part of a grand orchestration where environmental and cosmic signals reflect the unfolding of your divine process. This awakening is not abstract, it is tangible and observable. Storms, auroras, and other natural events often occur in synchrony with significant milestones in your life, echoing ancient wisdom that the Earth itself responds to divine energy. It is as if the planet recognizes the return of its chosen emissary, adjusting its energies to harmonize with yours. Communities worldwide report subtle changes in nature, from sudden animal behaviors to altered weather patterns. These shifts resonate emotionally with people, inspiring awe, reverence, and a sense of collective transformation. Humanity is intuitively responding to signals that are ultimately connected to you, a reminder that the earth and the divine are inseparable. As this awareness grows, it becomes clear that your activation is not only a personal journey, but a planetary one. Your energy catalyzes environmental harmony, spiritual alignment, and human awakening. The natural world itself validates your sacred role, making your presence an undeniable force that shapes both consciousness and creation. Hidden in the dusty shelves of libraries, buried in tombs, and encoded in obscure languages, forgotten scriptures are revealing their secrets. These texts, long thought to be lost or irrelevant, now speak directly to your identity. They describe a figure of unparalleled significance, a final unifying presence that embodies the wisdom, energy, and lineage of the gods themselves. Ancient texts from Egypt, Sumer, India, and other civilizations describe events and prophecies that mirror your life and awakening. Rituals, genealogies, and coded messages reference a figure whose arrival was foretold across continents. The convergence of these scriptures is undeniable. The ancient scribes were documenting a reality that the modern world is only now beginning to comprehend. You are the culmination of their sacred vision. The emotional impact of these discoveries is profound. Knowing that your life is reflected in scriptures written thousands of years ago creates a deep sense of validation and purpose. It is a confirmation that your experiences, intuitions, and awakenings are not isolated, but part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. Each scripture becomes a thread, connecting you to ancestors, deities, and prophets who awaited your emergence. Scholars are now reinterpreting these texts, realizing that the symbolism and allegory often mask literal truths about your existence. The alignment between forgotten scriptures and modern evidence demonstrates that divine knowledge was never lost, but encoded to protect the integrity of the message until the right time, your time. In embracing these scriptures, you become a living testament to the continuity of divine knowledge. The words, once silent, now resonate through your life, offering guidance, affirmation, and proof that the universe has been orchestrating this awakening for millennia. You are not only the inheritor of these texts, but their living manifestation, the fulfillment of ancient promises. Egypt, cradle of civilization, holds some of the most compelling evidence of your divine heritage. Hidden codices, hieroglyphic inscriptions, and sacred carvings reveal ancestral ties that connect you to the gods of antiquity. These records, painstakingly preserved over millennia, illustrate that your lineage is not simply symbolic. It is tangible, encoded into the very history of one of the world's most mystical civilizations. Hieroglyphs, long considered undecipherable, now reveal references to a final emissary of divine energy, whose presence would bring harmony between mortal and celestial realms. These codices describe rituals, bloodlines, and cosmic responsibilities that align uncannily with your own experiences. It is as though the scribes foresaw your existence and left behind a roadmap for recognition and awakening. The codices also reveal extraordinary connections to sacred Egyptian sites. Temples, pyramids, and obelisks were constructed not merely for worship, but as markers to honor the coming of a divine figure whose life would embody the convergence of gods and humans. Today, researchers studying these structures find patterns that point to your activation, validating the claims of ancient prophecy. Emotionally, this revelation is staggering. Knowing that your ancestry is intertwined with the gods of Egypt, evokes a profound sense of identity and purpose. It affirms that your awakening is not an accident, but the natural continuation of a lineage that has shaped human history for thousands of years. The weight of responsibility is immense, but so is the recognition of your rightful place in the cosmic order. Ultimately, Egypt's codices do more than tell history. They celebrate your presence. They confirm that you are the living bridge between ancient wisdom and contemporary consciousness, the heir to a sacred lineage that carries the energy, knowledge, and authority of the gods themselves. Your connection to Egypt is proof that the divine never abandons its chosen vessel. It prepares, protects, and preserves until the moment of awakening arrives. Across continents and centuries, ancient civilizations left behind written testaments, scriptures, carvings, prophecies, and encoded messages, each describing a lone figure destined to emerge at a moment of global transformation. These testaments, once studied separately, now reveal a unified tapestry when viewed together. They speak of a lineage that transcends borders, a bloodline carrying divine resonance, and a final embodiment whose arrival signals the turning of an age. The descriptions, symbols, and timelines all align with uncanny precision, forming a map that leads straight to the central figure of this epic tale, the Chosen One. What astonishes modern researchers is the consistency across cultures that never interacted. Ancient tribes in Africa wrote of a living bridge. Babylonian tablets referenced a final flame. Early Asian scrolls spoke of the spirit who returns as flesh. Native American prophecies described the last echo of the Sky People. Though separated by oceans and eras, their messages point to the same lineage, the same extraordinary destiny, the same culmination.